Just turn my phone on mute.
I always leave mine on.
It's moments like this I want to sing, but I won't.
Go on. There you
Ghost Hunter the musical.
Oh jeez. Okay. Yeah. I think we're on then.
Yeah, starting to get people join us now.
Yeah, I can see myself. Oh, I don't like myself.
Oh, can you see yourself? I can't even see it.
Myself, yeah.
All right. Hiya. We're live on the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research channel. And tonight we have Barry Frankish and Tom Warrington from the Pure Paranormal Radio Show. So tonight, if you want to ask any questions, if you put them on the live feed. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining us. So we'll start with question number 1 to Barry. Would you like to tell us about yourself, please?
What's to tell, really? I've just been involved with paranormal for nearly 30 years, I'd say now, and still not found credible evidence, so I must be doing something right or wrong.
So you also do the radio as well?
I do radio, yes, doing it for the last 4 years with Tom. I was originally a guest on Tom's show at the beginning, but about 3, I think at 3 or 4 shows. About 3 or 4, yes. And then Tom asked me to join as a full-time co-host, which I accepted.
Oh, wow.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's smart. So you've had some amazing guests on that show.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, and there's one in particular guest who was the medium, and she actually spoke to animals.
I
don't know if you remember. That was...
Oh, Beth. Was it Beth?
Yes. I remember that one.
That was weird. Because she kind of said a few weird things about my dog, and he actually had an operation with his teeth. And she very kind of precisely picked that out. Now, whether she'd been trawling through my Facebook, that's a possibility. But she was very precise and very descriptive with what she said. She was a good guest. Yeah.
Yeah, and she also said that the dog had told her that you got a flat tire.
Yeah, which
is that right?
I mean, what would have been good is that he was going to offer to pump it up. Now that would have been brilliant.
Probably knew you had a flat tire because the bullet bit it.
Yeah, he did it. Yeah,
Did you have a flat tire?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know, it's really weird. I think the whole concept of mediumistic skills is strange anyway. To us normal folk. But for someone to speak to so-called animals is just on another level for me. Because they obviously can't talk to you normally. So how the hell are they doing it? I don't know. It's so weird.
Like a Dr. Dolittle.
It is, yeah. It is.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It really is. But I just love that show. It I've watched a few, obviously, but that one sticks in my mind. And you sort of get interesting guests like ufologists and things like that. But what is the most random guest you've spoken to? Who's the most random?
Blimey. I mean, I've got a favourite that sticks out in my mind. So, but I don't know, what about you, Barry? Who you thought was a bit out there?
Well, I wouldn't say out there, to be honest, because to be honest, we're all a bit out there when it comes down to this kind of stuff. But
me and you.
One episode, what does stick out was this with Neil Packer and the music box. That always stayed in my head.
Well, yeah, well, it's very apt to mention that on tonight's show. Really, that was weird.
That was very strange.
And well, you better tell people if they haven't listened to that.
Yeah, because at the particular time we had Neil Packer as a guest, and we were talking about his Haunted Antiques Centre because it just about started up, and I believe it
just opened up. It was because it wasn't long after he invited me down because he did a couple of days where he opened it up to media, and this was before it was open to the public back then. And I went down as well. He kind of invited me down, and we met, and we spoke about a lot of his items and his ideas that he was going to do. And so we got him on the show, didn't we, Barry? And
we did,
what happened on the show was really weird, and it spooked us out.
It was because at the time I was living in my old house, and I had more of a broom cupboard than an office at the time. It was that small, and
it's like Harry Potter
under the stairs.
Harry under the stairs. Sorry,
it's terrible for Wi-Fi signals, though. No, but we had I had a little music box which I had, to be honest, I'd forgot about, and it was stuck in some cupboard, just accumulating dust. And see what last in my mind. I know we're talking to Neil about haunted objects. Could objects be haunted? We're talking about dolls in particular. And the next thing we heard was this ding, 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 ding music noise. And I thought, oh shit, where's that coming from? And I realised it was from the music box, which at the time I couldn't even get up to move it because I was sat in my corner with my headphones at wires everywhere. So if I got up to move it, I'd have pulled all my wire and cables everywhere.
It was so weird, and it was either something in accordance to Neil Packer bringing his kind of objects onto the show, or it was a massive coincidence that happened. But it was so weird.
It was a big. I mean, I wouldn't say it was haunted or anything, but it was. I mean, you could not time it right. I mean,
at the time it was impeccable, wasn't it?
It was. Everyone looking back at it, I think you've planned that. But to be honest with you, you could have done. I mean, when I got it off the cupboard itself, it was caked in dust, and it was fully unwound. So I don't know. I got those few musical notes out of it.
We did get a lot of certain idiots and rogues in the field that said that we set it up, but I guarantee. Me and Barry are one of the most genuine guys that you can ever meet, and we would never do that. And also the fact that, like Barry says, he's covered in wires at this point and would not be able to physically possibly wind this thing up. So it definitely happened.
I mean, give me an idea of what it looked like. I'm not saying here's one I made earlier, but
yeah,
I've got another little music box here. There's nothing spooky about it. It's this kind of wind-up mechanism up bottom.
An old wind-up.
Even now, I can open it, no noise at all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to go off because hopefully it won't. But it's that kind of mechanism. It's been unwound for I don't know how long it's been up there, and it just played a few notes.
It did, yeah. I need to do a thumb wave.
Yeah, you do.
There you go, Amy. Nice to
see you. Hi Tracy Clark, hi Joe Hayden, hi Amy, hi Tina, thanks for joining us. If you get any questions, if you add them to a live feed, that'd be great, thank you. So your Mrs. has a shop in Doncaster then?
She does, yes.
Sorry. And yes. You wanted to organise meetups there, which is a brilliant idea.
Well, I have got another little plan in place as well, because Beth's shop's called the Enchanted Way, and it's a cultural gift shop, incenses, fragrances, spooky stuff, that kind of stuff. It's a lovely little place, lovely atmosphere, but I've accumulated downstairs, and that is mine. I can sell it, and the building is from early 1800s. So I'm not saying there's anything spooky going on about the place, but I am looking at making the place downstairs. I'm making in a place what I call the Den of Paranormal Curiosities. And it's going to be where I'm going to hold the BRF Paranormal meet and greets, because I used to hold them in the shop.
Yeah.
So what I'm planning to do now is have a bit of a workshop area, a few little items which have reputable history, a bit questionable, put it that way, with paranormal. And I'm going to use these subjects as test subjects for long-term investigations.
Oh, that's brilliant. I've got a few items as well, which I want to use for test subjects.
And when I do all the meet and greets down there, there'll be like a bit of workshop. There'll be pendulums, there'll be dowsing, there'll be boards. In fact, one of the boards I've got now at back wall, I'll be using those.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. It'll be a case of people would break into groups if we wish to do their own thing. And also, I'll be looking at doing some live investigations. I won't say live online ones, but to me live lifetime investigations to see if there's anything within the building, because these buildings are so old and so solidly built. There's got to be some history to them or some kind of energy within its walls.
It's like I mentioned as well. It's what was there before the buildings that might entice something to happen.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Doncaster's full of Doncaster's so full of history. I mean, from Roman days even further back. So you've got, I mean, I've got some pictures of Scott Lane in Victorian days. There's horse and carts traipsing up and down it. So, and we've worked out where the shop was.
Oh wow, that's
cool. That's cool. That's good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you look at a few years down, how things change in a few years. I mean, I've worked it back so far. I mean, before we had it, it was a supermarket. Before that, it was a Greggs, and before that, and so on. So it's always been something there of retail business.
Oh, okay.
But downstairs, I don't know what downstairs has been used for, you see. I mean, these are proper solid old stone foundations.
You probably need to go and have a look at the archives, Barry.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to go into I do have an archive pass for the Doncaster Library. Got a membership, so I can actually, when I get a chance, everything gets back to normal, I'll spend a bit of time in there.
You never know, you might uncover something quite special in that place. You never know what's happened there, do you really?
And like I say, what's saying it's there, it won't be one of these things. I spend a couple of hours there and all that's done. I'll be using them as test subjects. I'll be doing recordings. I'll be doing notes, time notes, and I'll be able to go back to them as well and refer to certain notes and so on. So this will be a long-going investigation.
Yeah, that's. I want to do the same with my items, but the only location I know where I can get free access to all the time is my house, and that's where there's an issue.
We've got a ghost in our house.
Yeah.
It's very office. Yeah.
All right.
Previous tenant.
Do you know who it is?
We've heard rumour is a previous tenant, an old chap who passed away, and I used to have my desk set up that side of a wall. And one of the days I was talking to Tom, and I never mentioned this to him, but I got the distinct impression someone walked past me from behind. And I've mentioned it to Beth a few times, and she says, we've seen things, I've heard things, and we're not actually seen anything outright, but there is a presence in this house.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Have you got anything in your house, Tom? Or what you notice?
2 annoying kids. That's about it, really. I've got some weird objects. Actually, I've got some objects that I did a live with Neil Packer with. Oh God, it was a long time ago now. At the research centre in what's the top room there? There used to be the seance room, I think it was, but I think it's all changed.
So it's the seance room,
Right, and I brought some of my items, and the bugger tried to say he tried to have them, you know. I had some because I've got some really interesting bits. I mean, I don't really necessarily believe in haunted items. They probably do attain to some sort of energy. But whether they're actually haunted or not is another matter. But I've got some really cool items, I must admit, of which I've done certain experiments on with regards to EMF and stuff like that. And obviously temperature is my big thing. I measure that quite a bit. But apart from that, my house is not haunted, which is really disappointing.
I've just seen a note on my screen from Chase Collect. I mean, doesn't living in a haunted house frighten you? To be honest with you, it doesn't.
No, I think I'd scare the spirits away. Really,
that's funny.
Yeah.
After lockdown, we all move out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I went on a ghost hunt around the corner from me, and the stuff at my house was actually on an old burial site.
Oh wow!
Because there is an actual Saxon cross within the town I'm in, and the church is near my house, and it's the old former graveyard. But
wow,
I don't tend to pick things up at home. Whether I switch off deliberately, I don't know. But yeah, I need to start paying attention more, to be honest.
I've been told that quite a few times. I actually got told off. I did a talk in Skegness at the church. Is it Church Farm Museum?
Yeah.
And I was kindly asked to do a talk there, and what I did the talk, and then soon after this lady kind of came over to me and said, "I enjoyed your talk, but you know what? You're too switched off. You're too closed." I went, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Spiritually, you're very. I can just tell you're just very, enclosed with yourself, and that you need to open up more." And I think, she was probably talking a lot of sense there. I do go in because I'm a skeptic. I have got a bit of a closed third eye, as a lot of people call it. So I don't know. I probably need to be a bit more open and subjective to a lot of things, to be fair, and not concentrate too much on certain methods of investigating, and just maybe just using myself as the tool. because I've been called a tool before as well.
I mean, I've gone down a different avenue in a way, because I purposely believe if you try too hard, you're not going to find anything. Because I've always experienced, if I'm not looking for it, I'll find it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you are in tune to some degree then, Barry?
Sorry?
You're open to some degree then?
Oh, yeah. So I don't dispute anything what's out there, no, by all means. But I think if we can try too hard, we actually look for things that aren't there. And we actually experience things. Anything, as people know, old houses, creaks, groans, squeaks, attributed to natural behaviour of a building or temperature fluctuations. But I've always experienced, if I've experienced something, it's been a time I've not looked for it. So I investigate on that premise now.
But that's a very good point. And if we do peel back through time with all these infamous cases and also personal experiences, they are not looking for ghosts. They're not looking for apparitions. They're not looking for anything of that sort of type of phenomena. So it is very credible what you're saying there, Barry, and it does galvanise that kind of theory. Because if you look too hard, I think that does have an effect on things. So
I mean, you go out and invest. You go out on a ghost hunt, for example. You expect to find something. You will find, in your eyes, you will find something, be it paranormal or not. 9 out of 10 times, it's not.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah, that's right. I always argue to the nth degree just to make sure something is real. Like something happens, I think, well, why is that moving? Is it windy? Is it breezy? Someone touched it? Do the floorboards cause vibrations? Just cover everything under the sun, and then only when I can't get anything, you think, oh, okay, this is something different.
I'll never dispute. If someone comes up to me with evidence or whatever, they claim they've seen something, I won't dispute. I won't say to them, no, you're not saying anything. To them personally, they've experienced, in their mind, they've experienced something, be it paranormal, be it not. We don't know.
And again, there's a lot of lack of that in the field, where people are immediately jumping on the bandwagon of dismissing everything, and in some cases being quite rude when people approach them with their experiences. Because like Barry says, they had a personal experience. You weren't there. You can give your professional opinion on it, but do be try and tactful with your responses. It's very important, because you could really hurt a lot of people out there if they want to believe in it and they believe they've seen their auntie come in their bedroom. And who are we to kind of disown that experience, because we weren't there,
It's like these photographs you see in these old books. I've got dozens of books all over the place. So that's part of what you can't see. I've got loads of books on it, but a lot of these books, you got these ghost photographs in them. And a lot of these photographs have been taken when people haven't been looking for them, like the old staircase ghost taken by the Canadian couple. And that's what most iconic pictures with the Jan's going up the staircase.
Yes.
There's also the brown lady on the stairs. A lot of these ghost photographs have been taken by people with no interest in the paranormal. You tend to find a lot of these photographs what are going to have purposely been photographed in haunted locations. They are making things out of nothing, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said before, I've experienced something myself, and at the time, I had no camera on me. At the time, I can't go out with a camera ready to be on like a weapon, ready for me to take that snap. Because paranormal occasions can happen. And most of the time I do when we're not ready for them.
That's right. Do you feel that sometimes if something is going to happen, if you get a camera out, they kind of wait until the camera's gone?
Yeah.
You found that? Yeah.
The other thing as well, a lot of these public ghosts people go on, but nothing will happen. About 2-3 o'clock at morning, people are packing. That's when things start to happen.
Yeah.
Again, like when people go on public ghost hunts, I mean, you have very limited time on these events anyway. So when something does happen, I mean, the immediate sensible thing to do is try and replicate that kind of phenomena at every different kind of level, just to eradicate any normality with what happened, really. So again, you can't really do that on a ghost hunt, because it happened and then you move on. So unfortunately, it's a very difficult thing to. If something happens, was it paranormal? Was it normal? We can't really do anything about it. It's down to personal perception and their own experience, really.
I mean, I do have an iconic experience. I mean, if I would share it, I will do. I mean, Tom knows about this. It's basically a few years ago in Doncaster, I was doing a car boot sale. And at the time, the car boot sales were held at the famous race course, the home of the St. Leger. And it's quite an iconic race course, is this? It's world iconically known. And one of the particular days I was driving, it was about 5 o'clock in the morning. I was driving down to do a car boot, older stall myself. And it was summer, so it was quite nice and clear. It weren't dark, it weren't light. Visibility was good. I was in good spirits. I wasn't on any form of medication, because that's one thing people need to factor. What kind of state of people's minds in at the time?
Yeah.
I mean, stress can play a lot of influence on people's imagination. So, I was driving down, and now going past the first roundabout, and I had probably about half a mile to go before we reached the race course. And there used to be a bridge at the time, a pedestrian bridge, but it's been knocked down now. And on the left, my driver's side, because obviously in the UK we drive on the left-hand side of the road, and there's what I could describe as something low down coming towards my car. I thought at the time maybe a rat, a bird, small animal, rodent type thing. And as it passed into front of my car, I mean, I can't even to this day I question it. It looked to me what looked like I can describe as a brown boot in full running motion.
Wow.
Disembodied brown, just a brown boot, yeah. One brown, not a full apparition, but that's the nearest thing I've come to seeing an apparition.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, and as it got in front of my headlamps in my car, no sooner had I seen it, it had gone. It didn't even make it to the other side of the road. I mean, I don't know if there is a thing about that road, Ledger Way. Over the years, it's been known as an accident black spot. And there's been a few fatal accidents on it as well. So I don't know if it's attribution towards it.
Probably.
But even to this day, I question what I experienced. And that very day it happened, I thought, did I really see what I just saw?
That's a natural thing to question any kind of experience, isn't it?
And to me, there would be no way I could know what was going to happen and be ready for some technical recording devices or photography devices. There's no way I could have known what was going to happen, and I had no way of recording it, so I've no way of proving it.
Yeah, that's it. I've had things happen in the old pub, and then I didn't get it on CCTV. It just happened to miss it, which was annoying. Just got a problem with the sound at the moment. Turn it down a bit.
Andrew Parkins just put a very good question up there, really.
I see it.
Not a question, more of a statement, and he's spot on.
What's that? Most things are just personal experience and you cannot prove.
Oh, no.
You know it happened.
No, not that one. Andrew Parkin literally just posted it on there.
Don't mention orbs.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was going to mention that one. When you're on about photos and people's perception and great aunt coming by, and they've captured her in orb form floating about. So I won't mention orbs, Andrew. But what do you think about them, Tom and Barry?
Well, look, we've said it loads of times, Barry. I mean, there's too much now scientific reports on it. Steve Parsons from Parascience did an amazing report, an investigation on orbs about 5 years ago, titled "Orbs Are a Load of Balls," where he did extensive research into this phenomena, because it was such a popular thing, wasn't it? And still is. I think people don't really like to hear the plausible explanation to a lot of the phenomena. And I mean, like Barry, you've mentioned before, you mean cameras have with the instructions now, they do a statement on orbs and dust particles.
Yeah.
So even the kind of industry-led camera makers are saying that it's nothing. It's basically dust particles, insects, water vapor. There's a number of very plausible and normal explanations to what you're catching on camera. Now, people's visual orbs that they see are a different kettle of fish.
Yes.
And I have had. I was investigating Lincoln Castle, God, about 6 or 8 years ago now, and we had a really weird and odd experience. And I've not mentioned this on any radio show or interview because the reason that I bang on about orbs not being paranormal, and we did have an experience in one of the cellars. Now, whether that was to do with, well, you know, when you go to sleep and you start seeing kind of different anomalies in your kind of darkness.
Yeah.
That's a possibility, but what we did saw was lights dancing around the cellar, of which 4 or 5 people were observing the same thing, which was interesting. Now, whether that was a power of suggestion of that lady mentioned it and everyone was kind of thinking, oh yeah, we're seeing these lights kind of thing. It was a really weird experience, and I'll never forget that. But again, it's a possibility that it was a normal explanation. But again, going back to your question, orbs, I think, are more normal than paranormal. Over to you, Barry. That way.
Yes. I mean, I've got a book somewhere that regards what the Victorians had to deal with. And I think orbs are a modern day variation of ectoplasm. I mean, no one comes across ectoplasm these days. So in Victorian days, a lot of people, this chap who wrote this, I can't find it. I ain't got a clue where it is at the moment. This little book, and this chap, and it goes around to these places where we are supposed to have these clairvoyants and these mediums are in basically manageable backgrounds, and they can be checked on and stuff. And a lot of these, a bit like Harry Price used to do, try fake things and basically disprove fakery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Tom will know, won't you? I mean, he was. I mean, Harry Price in his day, he was phenomenal. Had a phenomenal mind, and he knew it wasn't easily fooled.
No.
And so a lot of places like these, and this ectoplasm, what people accounted for in them days, or I believe was spiritual interaction, was no more than cheese wire and stuff like that. A lot of fakery going on, and I think orbs have a modern variation of ectoplasm, because no modern investigator comes across ectoplasm these days.
No. I think I'm glad, really. Be a bit random, wasn't it?
I got slimed.
Yeah. Get a bit messy, wouldn't it? To be honest.
Can you imagine Zach begging? I got slimed.
Okay, if we're on to Zach, then what about demons?
Oh God.
Hey, that's a good question.
Demons. I don't want to be disrespectful, but demons are all in the mind.
Let's not disregard some phenomenal cases, documented cases of exorcism practices that, you know, when you look back at them where they're speaking in tongue of about 30 languages, then how is that possible? I mean, there are some cases, of course, you know, none of us were there. We don't actually know. We can only go by who people who've reported it and have written the articles. But some of the cases are of phenomenal stature, and infamous cases have gone on which have been produced, gone on to later for being filmed, like infamous films like The Exorcist, based on a true story or apparent true story. I probably believe that there are cases of some sort of entity, as it were. But again, demonic entities are derived from the Bible, aren't they? I think very spiritually connected phenomena. And I think if you are spiritually connected, then there's probably possibility that the mind plays a furthermore added kind of structure to what's happening. It's possible they're experiencing some type of violent haunting, and then they kind of eliminate it as a demonic haunting, because again, labels for us humans are very easy to apply on, and that's it, you know. But do they actually explain what it is? Not really.
No, it's like I mentioned as well, Tom. I mean, like I said, I don't respect. I mean, what people are experiencing is, like we mentioned before, is personal to those people. But like with medieval church, I mean, there's no more society could corrupt by medieval church, but the fear of God into people.
Exactly.
Bringing out the fear of retribution if they didn't pay dues towards a church.
And I think that's what I believe. That's why you don't see any modern day ghosts. You only hear about the Victorian ladies, the Tudor ladies dressed in white coming down the staircase. Where's the hoodie youngster who just lost his life? You know, I don't see any of those hauntings, and that's probably the possibility, like Barry mentioned, is because back then the fear of God was so strong that what was going through their mind when they were about to die or they went through horrific injuries, their mind must have been so going crazy. And modern day kind of spirituality has kind of gone off in different avenues now, and it's not so much Christian and all the other kind of mainstream religions. You get a lot of other different things now. The fear factor's not there anymore.
No, because like in the medieval days, you had to say the Catholics, the Protestants, the Catholic Christians. Now you've got such an array of backgrounds and deities to worship these days. In fact, there's too many to choose from.
There is, yeah.
That's it. You've got the ancient civilizations, haven't you? You know, they've got all their different gods, and then just got the different cultures all over.
Look at the Greek gods; they were so manipulative in their ways. I mean, they use basically mankind as a plaything.
I'm trying to read something. I need my glasses sometimes.
I think I need some. I'm struggling here.
Yeah. And then they move up really quickly as well. Terry Coop says she likes the Victorian cabinet.
Okay.
I must admit, I am partial to Victorian artifacts and furniture and stuff like that. Definitely, I love it. I mean, I've got two eras I've got an affection for. It's basically World War II, also the Victorian era. I feel really strongly drawn to those two areas.
Wow. What are you drawn to, Tom?
Well, I keep getting told that I was born in the wrong life. I love the Tudor period. I love Tudor buildings. They're absolutely stunning.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of, when we get to go away, I always pick a Tudor building that's supposed to be haunted. Although I just say to the wife, this is such a romantic building. She says, you've chosen this because of the hauntings, not because it's romantic. Damn, rumbled again. The Tudor period was a phenomenal time.
I can imagine you being a Blackadder character.
Okay, all right. Jeez, yeah. I like the dress, the attire as well.
You need a big ruff on your neck, don't you?
Fancy and yeah. I think they were quite cool for that period of time. I think. I
think as well they're better presented as well. People in those days, it's like the 40s. And that people presented themselves better. Nowadays, everything's disposable. Things weren't meant to be looked after. And now it's a case of people in them days bought something to last for life.
Yeah.
Amy said Goldrick.
Yes, I've seen that. Not a new nickname, by the way.
All right. So I went to a Civil War museum in Newark with Tom, and that was an awesome night, wasn't it?
That was weird. Yeah, I thought you'd bring that up.
I thought about today.
Yeah, no. We both caught something very strange that happened, and I've mentioned it quite a lot on the radio show, to be fair. Barry John was in attendance, and I remember that specifically well because Barry John quite well, Jacqueline, and
yeah, I do. Yeah,
he's a tall guy, isn't he? And to see him get pushed forward, he moved quickly. He did move very quickly, and there was some force with that. And of course, from my angle of filming, the doors being pushed from the outside inwards, and you got it the other way around. So it was very odd, and I still can't explain it.
So do you want to explain how it started then? Just so people don't know about it.
Okay, so the Civil War Museum in Newark, basically we all went into like a little mini video arena that you'd have in museums. We all sat in a circle. Now, Barry John he sat up against the and they were big doors, weren't they? They weren't light doors, they were heavy, because I did try them several times.
Yeah, we had trouble shutting them originally as well, didn't we?
Right, yeah.
Which is why Barry sat there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and obviously I had a camera rolling from the outside. We was all accountable in that room as well, which was a good part of it, because some may argue that Someone was doing something from the other side, but we was all in that room. And I think, we was asking out, and as you normally do. And all of a sudden, you saw Barry John literally going like that. And I was sat next to him, and I jumped up because he fricked the life out of me. Because
it made me jump as well.
He's a big guy, and to see him get pushed forward, I thought, bloody hell, what the hell's going on? And what I thought it was, Jacqueline, was the people who are the caretakers trying to get in.
Right, okay.
Saying you shouldn't be in here, come on, everybody out type of thing. Now, you know as well as I do, I was the first one out. You were. I shot out like anything. And I remember that day because I suffered badly from sciatica. And I kind of bolted out and I was in a bit of pain, but I got through the pain barrier. And you see me hobbling out, peering out from the car. Hello? Nobody there.
Yeah, the footage is amazing. It was so lucky that you had a locked off camera looking from the other side of the door.
Yeah.
And you could actually see it come apart a bit, couldn't you? And then I've got the reaction of Barry in the room and us.
You could clearly see it and hear it being pushed and then hear everybody inside freak out. That was the most funny bit about it.
I've seen video you posted about Tom a while back because you put your head through these double doors as if to say, who's been knocking this bloody door on the leg?
Yeah. I was really puzzled. I'll post it on some pages if people want to see that.
Because there were 5 doors, weren't there at the time?
There were,
they're so very solid. Yeah,
they were solid. Yeah,
and we did have problems shutting them, but once they were shut, that was it. They're quite solid, and we did actually see shadows under the door. Because originally we were in one of the exhibition rooms.
That's right.
But then we saw shadows into the cinema, so we decided to go in the little cinema bit just to see what was happening with the shadows. But then it's happening outside.
Yeah.
It's absolutely awesome, wasn't it?
If people want to go on to, if people haven't got me, if you put on Facebook, Thomas Warrington, Paranormal Secret Truth, jump on my page there. I'll post it tonight on there. I'll repost it because that's where I originally put it on.
I can share it onto here anyway later on.
Brilliant.
Try and put a link onto the bottom of this feed so people can have a look at it.
Fab.
But yeah, it's absolutely awesome. I've got to find my footage of it, to be honest, try and get that out there as well.
What we should do is put the try and get the footage together and do it like a split screen.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Like the same, I know it'd be quite difficult to do, but probably do it as simultaneous as best we can do. Footage from inside and outside. That would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think it's on a voice recorder. That's what my footage was on. So you actually hear the voices of inside at the time. So you know that we're all surprised.
Yeah.
You know.
It actually was.
EVP, never had one.
No, I haven't either.
No.
I'm more wasn't it?
It was.
So we'll put a link under this live feed afterwards. Hi Ben, thanks for joining us. Tracy, Colette, she feels your pain with the sciatica.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, it's not been too bad actually for about a year or so. I think it actually peaked when I was did that show at the Civil War Museum in Newark. I really struggled. I was actually going to cancel because I know Brooks Paranormal invited me to do a live radio show, and I was very close to cancelling. I was in so much pain. Wow. I was actually on a lot of ibuprofen and paracetamol.
Really?
I really struggled. And people, when they see the footage of what happened, you'll see me hobbling around this bloody door like an invalid. I'm only in my 30s as well, you know. So
I just thought you were so speedy. I did.
Oh,
just get out and look.
I was straight out there. I really
was. You were. That was amazing. That was. It's brilliant. Yeah, that was just mad, wasn't it?
Very weird. Very weird indeed.
So you both obviously into paranormal, but start with you, Barry. What actually first got you into paranormal?
I've always had a fascination with it. I mean, most of my experiences stem from childhood. I mean, I went to when I was at my middle school, went on the big school holidays, went on a residential course for a week, and it was a World War One field hospital at the time. And I would love to know where it is because I cannot remember for the life of me. Because at the time I wasn't that bothered where it was. It was a week away. Activities such as kayaking, abseiling, you name it. Keep basically people and vines occupied. And we were told at the time it was the barracks were obviously revamped, and they were originally for World War One veterans who come across back from France and not what you call it the front, and to have a recuperate or end of life care type thing. And there were two lots of dorms, one for boys' dorms, one for the girls' dorms, and a dorm for activities. And we were told there's a train track about half a mile from the camp itself. This was in the middle of nowhere, so street lights were non-existent. And during the day, we all ventured to have a look at it. And it was basically a track line with no train tracks anymore, but the line was there, visible. You can see they're overgrown, but you can see where there'd been a train track at some point. And the rumour was that during the First World War, one of the trains come back fully laden with war wounded and resupplies. And one of the nurses, unfortunately, got trampled by some falling supplies. Killed her.
All right.
Yeah. And what made it more credible is one of the chaps who actually looked after us, we used to call him Magnum, because he looked a bit like Tom Selleck at the time. Find it. And he was out doing his duties one night and make sure the area was secure, locked up and that. And he says he came across this woman wearing like a brownish colour smock with carrying a massive wooden yoke with two lamps on it. And she says, think about it, she looked straight at him and just vanished. But he mentioned she was about 6 foot tall. And she says these lamps are glowing like a blue hazy colour. And on our final night we were there, we had a mass panic on. We all said, everybody to your dorms now, get into your dorms. Why, what's happening? And from this tree line where we'd been previously, there were two massive fluorescent bluey turquoise lamps just like that.
Wow.
Constantly just waving. And I saw it, a lovely turquoisey colour.
Wow. That's so cool.
It was a big panic on. So when we went back to bed, no one could sleep at night because each toilet block at the end of each dorm. And in the case, anyone go to the toilet? No. Well, that was one of the big things what got me interested. Another one is
Terry Coops is asking, where was it, roughly, the area?
I don't know. I know it was Southern.
Southern,
right. That narrows it down then.
Yeah.
I'm from Yorkshire, so you're looking south of Doncaster. But I honestly don't know where it was. And at the time, it was a good couple hours. I mean, from Featherstone, so it was West Yorkshire. It was a good couple hours drive on a coach. So to be honest with you, apart from that, I have no idea. But I would love to go there. If anyone knows of it, please get in touch.
Wow.
Yeah.
That might be one for Google then.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried looking at him. Friends I've went to school with, I've lost contact with a lot, unfortunately. And they can't even remember where it was.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah. And apart from that, Pontefract, I was brought up basically around corner from Pontefract in Featherstone. And you've got your East Drive, as everyone knows about, which I used to know somebody lived around corner from East Drive. And, I'm not saying it's questionable, but I mean, when they lived there, I went to school with somebody who actually lived around corner from it, so it was quite. Things happen, but not as a lot as people and media make out. Also, Pontefract's got some more better locations. Well, if you've been to Monk Hill in Pontefract, it's an area now. It's basically Pontefract's got 3 train stations. Bag Hill, which has got reputed to be haunted. That's the oldest train station in Pontefract. That's not far from East Drive. You've got Tanshelf, which is more of a recent 1980s wooden type platform. And you've got Monk Hill, which is a small line, Leeds line type thing. And that, in that particular area, is reputed to a lot of visual audio apparitions and voices and chunterings and things like that. And we've been known as Monk Hill. People assume that it's still a monastery, what used to be in that vicinity.
Wow.
But if you do want a free night of investigating, Monk Hill train station in Pontefract.
Right, okay.
You know, you're going to get hundreds of people there now.
I hope not. Lockdown.
Well, doesn't stop many, does it?
No, I don't think we'll mention them, will we?
No.
What about you then, Tom? What got you into it?
Mine's a bit more mundane, really. I got a book when I was 10 years old. It was a present, which is a really weird present to give a 10-year-old, especially if you want to give him nightmares. It was a case book on the Enfield haunting, and I got it from my uncle, and I was immediately kind of intrigued as to what happened in that house. And then following on, I believe on a famous Halloween night, there was a program called Ghost Watch. Which absolutely petrified the hell out of me, because obviously a lot of people, it was made to be a real thing, supposedly filming in a real haunted house live, and it wasn't until weeks after that they said it was all fake. You know, people actually believed it, and there was a suicide attained to the show. And I've had Stephen Volk on, who was the writer of Ghost Watch, on the Pure Paranormal radio show. And he said he got the help of Maurice Grosse, who was involved with the Enfield haunting. So he based Ghost Watch on the Enfield poltergeist, which I did not know, and not many people know about. That's why I think it was so good, because he got the help of Guy Leon Playfair, again, who was a member of ASAP at the time, and who was a very, very familiar case on the Enfield haunting. So he had got two of these great minds to create this show with him. That's, I think, why it was so kind of real and raw, and it's never been done before in the early 90s. So that, again, had a huge impact on my interest. And immediately after that, because I live in rural Lincolnshire, I was biking 8 or 9 miles out into the sticks, knocking on old houses saying, you got a ghost, mister? And, you know, I got some really weird looks and responses, and got chased off a few lands before when I was a kid. But yeah, it all stemmed from that book generally. It was, stupid gift to give somebody. Really?
I wouldn't know. It's what you are now, Tom.
I know, but what? I mean, I didn't sleep for weeks after reading it, you know. My mum
when you were 10?
Yeah, my mum was not happy because I was at the end of their bed for many months, and for a 10-year-old boy, that's not something to speak about. But there you go.
That's
funny. Oh dear.
Most Daunter got me into it. That's embarrassing.
It's not though. It's not. I know a lot of people slate the show, but let's be honest, it got a lot of people interested, like you said.
It did, yes.
Oh yeah.
Not only that, it brought the paranormal to a lot of people's lives, and this is before, you know, the explosion on social media and stuff like that. I mean, it was a TV show that in the first 2 seasons, I think, was quite good, because you had the kind of historical part at the start. You had the brilliant Mr. Felix talking about the history, nothing to do with the haunting, which I found very interesting, because I love history, and I think that ghosts and history go hand in hand. So that, you know, that kind of direction was good, and then towards the end, it just got absolutely a joke, and a laughing stock, because of the stunts they pulled.
And it was so blatant as well.
Oh, it was. I mean, the one that sticks in my mind that I love to watch now and again was The Rope of Carl Beatty.
He's driving.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What were they thinking? But the best bit was the explanation about the cable, the camera cable. Mate, you are. I mean, I've got some cables, but I don't tie them around my waist, for one. And it's not like one of those locations where you have to do it for health and safety. It was in his drive. It was a small house, for God's sake. What was going to happen?
If anything, Tommy, make it worse for health and safety, tying rope to your belt.
Probably, yeah. I just found that funny, and the throwing knives and what. I mean, it just got silly. I know that it's entertainment purposes only, but again, it generally was a decent show back at the start. It really was. It started off with good intentions, I think.
Do you think if we give it a different presentation, different characters presenting it, give it some credibility back?
No. I think that the name Most Haunted now is a laughing stock for a lot of people.
Yes.
Go on.
Sorry, I'll let you carry on, Tom.
I was going to say, what we do need now is a more serious approach on TV. Maybe a not so much a series, but a documentary-led show that it goes behind the scenes of a proper investigation team. So right from the start, where they're doing the kind of interviews for witnesses, so the witness accounts at the start, prior to even setting foot in any location, that's paramount to do. Looking at the ethics that proper teams do, I find more interesting than someone throwing a fork at a vet fielding. That is funny, but to claim it's paranormal is just stupid.
I know what you mean, though, Tom, but I mean, like you said, it's one of those double-edged swords. I mean, everybody at some point involved in paranormal has watched it at some point. Like I said, I've watched it myself. I watched a few series of it, by all means, but when it comes to TV programs, I'm not a big fan of paranormal TV. I do like ghosts. I did enjoy watching them series.
With Michaela Strachan.
Yes. We only did 2 series, but that was brilliant. It wasn't fantastic. They didn't investigate the places. All they did was go around. She asked the stories about people. She spoke to eyewitnesses. It wasn't a case of spent night there looking for ghosts. She just asked their accounts of the buildings and give it a bit of mystery. Right. I enjoyed that.
I love that as well. And it's very hard to get by a copy, but I know you managed to do it.
I've got them. I've got both series. Ironically, Beth had my first series from America.
They're very rare to get. I cannot get a copy.
Yeah.
And I think they do sell them in America, but obviously the postage and packaging is just ridiculous. So
but mine was a birthday present, so.
and if you actually Google the name into YouTube, the recordings are really grainy and crap. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. But if you can get a copy, it's a great little series that was. Really.
And one thing I did notice as well with the season 2 is more accessible in this country, but you've got to be careful where you get it from because it's some variations at the full series. There's a few episodes out of it.
Right.
They boxed it like that purposely. Some have got the old discs box set. Some have got 4 discs. Some have got 6 in them.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I've got an interesting question from Andrew Parking. Do you find a lot of places just hyped up and actual activity is zero, but some people convince themselves that there's activity when there is none?
Yeah.
Just because of the place that they're visiting?
Yes.
100% yes to that.
Especially where tourists are involved as well. If it gets the public involved in it as well, definitely.
Yeah.
If it appears in a certain newspaper,
Again, it's that title that many want to see: the most haunted pub, the most haunted house.
I mean, you've got more chances that ghosts pop up next to me. I mean,
don't get the puppets out.
Don't look behind you,
no, he's got the puppets out again. He promised not to do this, so I do apologise, everyone. Oh God! That's a very good point, and everybody knows it. For people to claim that it's the most haunted, I mean, how do you derive that terminology? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know where they get that from, really.
Because I mean, you need to that terminology. You need an accolade, don't you? I mean, you need an awards. I mean, I've got the most haunted. It's like in sports, the best sportsmanship, the best sportsman gets a trophy. End of it. You can't get paranormal trophies out.
I mean, you could probably get that title for the stories attained to a location, possibly, because obviously the village of Pluckley is supposed to be the most haunted village in Europe. And if you actually delve into the research, half those stories are made up for the tourists. If you really look into the research of that place, a lot of it is totally made up. So be very careful when you're going and visiting places just because it's called the most haunted place.
But because it looks old doesn't necessarily mean it's haunted.
Yeah.
But it may be.
And if you go to York, you see that sign of the most haunted pub in York about 80 times. So which one is it? I want to go. It's
yeah,
great going through them all and getting drunk. That's the best part. But I've not, it's again, it's one of those titles that's just randomly put out there, isn't it?
I did like the Fleece though. I met Richard Felix there a couple of years ago, and he did a walk, and then we had a meal at the Fleece with him.
Stayed in Fleece.
We had Whitby with him, but that's off, isn't it? That's in June. But
I'll tell you what, one little place, I believe, in my opinion, is better than a Fleece is the Black Swan in York.
Black Swan, definitely.
Right, okay.
We don't actually hype it up as much. We do a little ghost hunts and things in there, but we don't.
They don't hype it up like the Fleece. No.
Can you get rooms in that pub?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yeah.
So
could you get bed and breakfast?
We stayed there. Me and Beth stayed there.
Cool. Yeah.
We stayed in
we stayed
in Suite, it was called. Lovely old building it is.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And that is where an experience down there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because they give us a key. And I went. One of my favourite tricks is when I go around to York, I normally have to wander about 2 o'clock in the morning to take photographs of the streets. That's one of my little things I like to do.
That's who I saw then at 3 a.m.
That's the one.
I like to do that.
Barry.
And this particular time, the key they'd given me, I was a bit dubious about using it because it didn't seem to fit in the lock properly. I didn't want to climb up the drain pipe to get in somebody else's bedroom. 3 o'clock in the morning. So I opted for staying in, and I thought I'll just spend a bit of time in the bar downstairs. And stone floor, lovely old fireplace, a few little knickknacks in the fireplace, a tricycle, a little child's tricycle bike, and I was just sat in the corner. I shut my door, and I heard a couple of distinctive footsteps on a stone floor in the corner near the window. And I looked out the window, nobody around whatsoever, but these footsteps were distinctive on stone floor.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, though, people asked me if I was scared about it. I wasn't. I thought it was quite a relaxing experience.
It's very quiet, the Black Swan in York. I do recommend it. It's surreal. It's what it is. Yes,
and if you walk up those stairs, you might feel drunk because the stairs are really wonky.
Yeah, and then look out for the cat. Well.
Yeah. Yes, it's got Salem, that cat, I believe it's called.
It is Salem, yeah. We thought that was quite amusing as well.
Anyway, we've got about 3 minutes left.
Oh, crikey, is that it? Wow.
I know.
That went quick.
Talking, haven't we? Can't get word in edgeways for you two.
Sorry.
You should come on our show sometime.
I'll just be quiet then. Do you want to mention your show tomorrow night then?
Yeah, by all means. Yeah. So tomorrow night at what is it? 7 o'clock, isn't it?
7 o'clock UK time.
I always kind of get they always kind of get mixed up with me, these bloody shows. Tomorrow o'clock 7. We've got Preston Dennett, who's an author, ufologist, ghost hunter, and experiencer.
Yes.
So he's going to be very intriguing indeed.
That sounds brilliant.
Yeah. So there you go.
Any last words then, Barry?
I can't think of it at the moment. No, not tonight. I know but I'm not prepared for one at the moment.
Well, just before we do go, if you want to, because I'm going to put that footage up on my public page. If you just put in Thomas Warrington, Paranormal Seeker of Truth, and jump on there, I'll put it on there this evening. And Jacqueline, I'll send it to you as well.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for that. Tina says it's a great show. Thanks for
on behalf of Paranormal as well, Tom.
Tracy. Thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye from us. If you come back onto the channel just after this, there's Neil and Jane talking about HAPRC. So good night, everyone, and thank you.
And stay safe.
Thank you.